Welcome back. And today we will do maybe extra 30 minutes or an hour, 30, yeah, most probably 30. So I hope you people don't mind.
So, Mr. Torre,
Yes.
so next Saturday, are we having class again?
We will discuss about that after this question. And I'm even thinking of us meeting. Let's discuss about it after this question, okay?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, someone was asking whether we can take the coefficients of the quadratic term and divide it by the whole terms. I don't know who was it. You can bring your question again. We talked about
Yeah.
it.
Yes. What I wanted to say is,
Yes.
like, if for instance, like the variable with the
Power.
highest power is negative.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for you to change that negative by dividing all sides with
Oh, okay.
-1, so that you will you will eliminate the
You don't
negative
want to
sign?
deal with that. Yeah, yeah, it's possible. No, mathematics is about whatever you do, you understand, to one side, if you do to the others, it will be okay.
Okay.
So you want to get rid of the negative. You don't like negative, right?
I hate solving questions with negative, so I always prefer changing the negative.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, decimals negative, they are numbers they are hard to deal with. Sometimes I get demotivated when I see decimals, you know, but that's life, that's mathematics. We have to find a way to deal with them. Sometimes if you don't want to deal with them, you can eradicate it, as you rightly say. It's possible. It's possible. There is no problem with that. But be careful once you are dealing with it, because once you miss one, then it throw off your solution to the other side, south. So it's possible. It's really possible.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So now we have this. Is there any other question? Please, there is no, all questions are important. If you have questions, we are here to learn. Myself, I'm learning from you people. So if you have a question, please bring it on board. There is no question like this is important, this is not important. No. So bring them if you have before I proceed. If you don't understand, you are paying your school fees. You have the right for the lecturer to explain it until you understand. So you can ask if you don't before I move on. I like class to be interactive. So if you have any question, bring it on board. Okay. Silence means we are all good, huh? So now we have this profit function. We derive this profit function. And the next question is like, for what value of Q does the firm break even? There are many ways to solve this. There are many ways to solve this. And if you looked at this profit function, first you wanted to know whether it will be like this or it will be like this. But what will tell you that, as I always tell you, looked at the sign of the quadratic term. If you know that it's negative, and if it's negative, you know that obviously it will be like this. So meaning that we are looking for something maximum, not so. So if you are looking for something maximum, you should know that there will be question that will be related to what will be the maximum profit and at what level of quantity the profit will be maximized. So at the end of the day, they will ask you for what? This quantity, and also they will ask you for this. So also break even, we can calculate break even point at many levels. Through this profit function, we can calculate break even point, you know that. But we can also say total revenue equals to total cost, we calculate the break even point. So we have done A and we are about to do B. So what the question related to B was what? Can you look at your notes if someone is taking notes?
What values of Q does the firm break even?
Exactly. So we know that at break-even point, what happens? Total revenue is equals to what?
is equals to total cost.
Ah, are you guys,
Total cost.
let's, so equals to total revenue equals to total cost. But we can do this, but another way to do this, we can use the profit function, because this profit function comes from this.
Yes, come
So
from
what
the
we
two.
can, exactly. So what we can do, we can just solve for Q in this profit function. So some people can go with this. I don't have a problem. You just say total revenue equals to total cost. So what is our total revenue? Our total revenue is, where is it? It's 10Q. So whichever method you choose, I don't restrict. Minus 2Q raised to the power of 2 equals to our total cost is what? 4 plus Q. So at the end of the day, you will even end up having this answer. So it will be how much? Minus
That's 2Q
2Q
square.
square. So obviously this will come here. So what we will have at the end of the day, let's have this plus 10Q. This will be minus how much? Minus 4, right? Then minus Q. They will come here, then we equate it to 0. So at the end of the day, we'll have minus 2Q raised to the power of 2. This is 10Q. Sorry, this should be Q, not X. So when you are so used to X. So we have Q here. So this will be 10Q minus Q. That will give us plus 9Q. Then we have minus 4. So this is the same, and you equate it to 0. Then you solve for Q. This is the same as this. So what we were doing here is, this is what we were doing indirectly here. So if you can go with this method and use your quadratic formula and solve for Q, or you can just come and use this one after driving the profit function. You just say, you bring it minus 2Q plus, because what we did here, profit function, we drive it through what? TR equals to TC. So you don't need to do this again unless you want it or you want to show it, that you know. There's no problem. But it's about time also in the exam. It's equals to 0. It's the same thing. So what we need to do, we need to solve for the value of this. So at the end of the day, remember our quadratic. You know, if you want to find Q, it will be equals to minus B, right? Plus or minus in square B square raised to the power of 4AC all over 2A. We have this. So then what you need to do is to find what is your A. I think everyone can do that. Our A is what? Minus 2, not so. Our B is what? 9. And our C is what? Minus 4. So we have this. So all what we need to do is to substitute it into this. We are still with B coefficient. So we will have then something like the quantity we are looking, it will be minus this plus or minus. So then what is our B? Our B will be 9 raised to the power of 2 minus in bracket 4 times A. A was what? A was minus 2. And C is minus 4, right?
Yes.
Then all over 2 times A. And now A is what? Minus 2.
Yes.
So this will give us something like this. Okay.
2 is equals to minus 9.
So this will give us minus 9 plus or minus
Yes.
81 minus 32, huh?
Yes.
Over 2 times minus 2. It's the same as this. So at the end of the day, we will have something like Q is equals to minus 9 plus or minus
49.
7 all over minus 4. So then now we can separate them. We have said Q1 equals to minus 9 plus 7 over minus 4, or Q2 equals to minus 9 minus 7 over minus 4. So when we solve this, Q1 will give us what? We will have something like 0.5. You can confirm with your calculator.
Yes, minus 0.5.
No, is it minus? Let's
Okay,
no, it will be positive. This is here will be minus.
Yeah, it's positive 0.5.
Minus, then they will cancel positive. Yeah, equals to 4. Exactly. So this, in fact, this is the point where we have break even. Because this is the point whereby total revenue equals to total cost also. So we have this. So this is our, this is our BEP, first BEP, and another BEP. You will even see, when we do the graph, you will see the visualization. Okay, I thought somebody sent a message. Okay, so this is how, so once you solve this, you have your total profit function, you solve for quantity. So what you have there, it will be a BE point. This is a point whereby total revenue is equals to total cost. Total revenue is equals to total cost. So we solve the B part. So what is the maximum profit? So to find the maximum profit, first we have to find the quantity that maximizes the profit. And to do that is very simple. We find the quantity max. See?
0.5 plus.
Yeah, so some people already know what needs to be done. Quantity 1 plus quantity 2 divided by 2. Why 2? Because we have two quantities. This is average. We are taking the average. So we know that quantity 1 is, BEP, first BEP is 0.5. The second one is what? Is how much? Is 4, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So then
Divided
divided by 2, and this should give us 2 point something, 2.2.
2.25.
Okay, and we have 2.25. So this is the quantity that maximizes the profit. So if you want to know A, B, C, D, that the maximum profit, if you want to know that, you have to take this and substitute it into the profit
function,
which is this.
Yeah.
So if you do that, the profit function that we have is minus 2. Let's take step by step so that everyone can get it. Plus 9Q, then minus 4. So if you want to know profit max, you have to substitute this here and here. So it will give us something like minus 2 times quantity, and we say that this is what maximizes the profit, which is 2.25. Remember, raised to the power of this 2 plus 9 times the quantity, which is 2.25. Then we have minus 4. So if you evaluate this, you don't need to go further. You can take your calculator and punch it. It will give you the answer. You will have something like 6.125. So this is the maximum profit. So, but we will also visualize all this so that visualization makes you to understand things better. I think everyone will agree with me that. So let's try to draw the profit function. And let's also try to, let's draw the profit function and see how it will look like. The question might ask you, draw the profit function. The question might ask you, in one graph, put the total revenue and total cost function and show the break-even points, which we have calculated already. So let's try, we have finished the questions, but let's try to visualize it. Let's start with the profit function. All right, so we have this as the profit function, and then we have quantity here. So obviously, the profit function as we have it, this is profit equals to minus 2q plus 9q, then minus 4. This is our profit function. So this is what we are trying to graph here. Remember, I told you this constant, if I told this the 4 minus 4 there is 0, then we would just have started it, here we go. But unfortunately, we have a number that is minus 4. So let's assume that that minus 4, that is the intercept, the profit function intercept. So we know that, looking at this, the coefficient that is attached, the coefficient of the quadratic term is minus 2. We know that then the profit function will be something like this. So it has to cut the quantity in two points. So what we will have here, it will be something like this. Then we have here. So these 2 points, we have calculated this. So these 2 points, in fact, are the what? Are the break-even point.
0.5.
This is where the profit is equal. Exactly. So this quantity, we need to know them. We need to know them. And we even computed them already, not so.
Yes.
It's 0.5 and 4. And 4. So also, the another important point is the maximum profit. They want to know this, the max profit, which is here. But to know this max profit, first we have to know the max quantity.
Yes, 22.5.
So which we calculated. To know that you add this to this and divide it by 2. So it's just like we have 2.25. So here is, we did it, so I'm not going to calculate it again. It's 2.25. So that's the max here. So the other thing what we need to do, I think that's it. So if they ask you the interval where production, this is production, where production is possible is what? 0.4 to 4. So this is the interval here where production is profitable. In another way, where profit is greater than 0. Greater than 0 meaning that it's positive. So from here, this, let's say A, this is profit function. It looks like total revenue function, but it's not. So, and B. So the interval AB is where the production is profitable. And it is here whereby total revenue is greater than total cost. So, but beyond, at B here, total revenue is equals to total cost. And this is a point of BEP, break-even point. So at here, at 4. So at 0.4, or at A, at point A, total revenue also is equals to total cost. In another word, we also have BEP there. But when we go beyond B or 4, then we have what? Total cost is greater than total revenue. But less than A also, we have a point whereby total revenue is less than total cost. Or in another word, total cost is greater than total revenue. So this is what we need to know here. So, but what we also need to know the maximum profit, which is 6.125. So this is our profit function. Is there any question relating to this?
May you reinterpret this interpretation?
Interpretation of what?
Yeah, these stuff. The economic interpretation, I mean.
Of what?
Of this graph we just saw. You were trying to explain the economic.
No, it's what I'm saying. It's what I did. Like, this is the range. Sorry?
I said the economic interpretation, sometimes it's
Your mic is echoing. Are you using a...
No, I'm not using any else.
Okay, I heard that you said the economic interpretation of what?
The economic interpretation of this graph here. You like sometimes you interpret them in economic. You find me taking me a tough time sometimes. So if you may just please
Yeah,
elaborate.
it's what I just did. Like now you draw all this, you know the points, you draw it. You need to know what it means going beyond 4 or point B. So going beyond point B, you are making a loss because total revenue there is total cost there is greater than total revenue. That's one economic interpretation. So if you are operating at this region, what is telling you economically is that your total cost is greater than your total revenue and you are making a loss. So the only point where production, these are all economic interpretation. The only point where production is profitable is between A and B. I'm not even saying at A or B. At A and B, you don't make any profit, you don't make a loss, but it's between A and B. So when they ask you what interval or range production is profitable, you understand? It has to be between. You cannot say, A and B cannot be inclusive. You have to, because at there is no profit, there is no loss. That's the break-even point. So what I'm saying, these are all economic interpretation. You look at this portion here, you understand? So someone can just see this area and ask you, what is the economic interpretation? Like at this area, because you know that from between A and B, this is a range or the interval where production is profitable. So all what I'm saying, because you will see that once I draw the graph, I spend a lot of time explaining it. All those explanations are economic interpretation. Yeah. So those are some of the things. So this course, it requires a lot of things. We couldn't go further because I tried to bring the economics, try to help you with the calculus. I should just come and do the application. What I hopefully we have learned something in this class. We could have gone further than this, but well, that's it. So this is what we have for the profit function. Sometimes also what, you have to bring together the total cost function and total revenue function together. So to do that, normally you will have something like this, as I said, and something like this. Then where they intersect here, that will be your BEP. Obviously, that BEP should also be the same as 0.4 and 4. So this will be 0.4 and 4, the quantity. So the highest here, it will be 2.25. Then the profit will be 6.125. So they can ask you to do this also as well. You graph TC and TR together. So it will look something similar like this. So that brings us to the end of this chapter. The next chapter should be differentiation, a topic that I like a lot. So yes, calculus. And when they talk about calculus, it's like some kind of this big word. But let me tell you one thing, calculus, all what you are doing is you are linearizing. What do I mean by linearizing? Like they give you quadratic. In fact, calculus is more about approximation. I think it was invented by one British scientist, Newton. He was trying to solve some gravity problems, and in that gravity problem, there was something like he need to approximate. So he came up with this kind of mathematics called calculus, something like that. We don't need to go into details, but it's a very powerful tool that we can use to approximate. It's about approximation. We use mathematics to approximate. It's more about approximation. So let nothing scare you. Yes? Yes?
This discoverer, his name is Sir Isaac Newton.
Yeah, Newton. Sir Isaac Newton. You can read about calculus, but we are not in history class here. But it's nice, to know how certain things comes about. So we have derivatives. Those who did science in high school, I'm sure they have heard about Sir Isaac Newton, things like that. Yeah, even Exactly. So derivatives, these are some of the topics I want to cover. And I was thinking we meet so that I can a brief introduction to calculus for the rules of differentiation,
Yes.
and then three, and then the application in economics and business world, marginal functions. So yeah. So basically, it's much more than this, but these are some of the things I want to look. I was thinking we stopped the class here, and I was thinking next class I looked at these things very briefly online or at the campus, something like that. But let's see before next week we see what will happen. It's a wide topic, so I'm wondering how I will summarize this and lecture it in 2 hours. So yes.
I'm suggesting regarding this particular lesson,
Yes.
If there is any possibility, we should try to have it on campus because calculus is another thing now.
Yeah. It's because I will not go deeply into it because 2 hours I don't want to start something I won't finish. So I will try to touch the surface so that next time you have calculus or you are doing something related to calculus, at least you will know what the person is talking about. That will be the goal of that 2 hours lecture that we will have. Something like this. We can meet at campus, no problem. We have 2 hours of this. And I don't know, those who are interested, I can even offer free classes in campus about calculus. I don't know. But what we will do, let's stop here for now. And I will think about this, whether I can lecture these 3 areas within 2 hours. Then I will get back to the class. If there is a need be, then we discuss it. If we will not do it, I can organize free classes. Those who are interested, they can join as well in the campus. But I will get back to you about whether we will do it or not. I don't know whether that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, and 2 people said it's fine. I don't know the rest. They think.
Yeah, it's okay.
Mr. Ture,
Yes.
I want to make something very clear here.
Okay.
Can you remember when we are doing midterm test?
Which test?
The midterm test.
Yeah.
Out of, I don't know, I cannot remember exactly our numbers, like when we do have online classes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can see the outcome when we were about to do the midterm test.
You said few people came, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
We check out of 100%. I can
okay.
say 75% that we are saying for us to have online class.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like some adjunct they are like to make the number large, but they have no interest in
it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I was surprised because the online we have a lot of people, but then yeah. So, but like at the end of the day, what are you trying to suggest? What are you trying to say? I understand what you are saying. Like
which means we should have our class in at campus because we are the people that know what we're gonna gain from it. So others that they don't have interest in it, they always feel like having class online.
Okay, I understand your point now. I understand. Yeah, I will take that into consideration because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to see how I can fit these 3 areas: derivatives, the rules of differentiation, and marginal. How I can fit it into 2 hours, something like that. But your point is well noted, and I have also observed it as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. So I think this is because the way I'm lecturing is to make sure that those who are going for masters, I know how I struggled when I'm doing my masters, so I don't want you to go through that, something like that. normally, in fact, I should have even started differentiation, but it will be a tough case. When we start differentiation, I have the right to ignore, not to talk about any economics, because the prerequisite should be like, you have taken economics, you have taken calculus, so I should just come and do application, but that is not the case for most people or almost everyone, I don't know. So I have given you an assignment. I send it to you. The funny thing is, yesterday I was in the campus. I found there are some people, a group, they solved that assignment together. So the board they use is where I use for my economics classes. So I was surprised. It's supposed to be individual assignment, but I saw it on board solved. I'm impressed because I haven't lectured it, but some people solve it. But I'm not happy as well because it's supposed to be individual work.
Yeah, I think I even made that on the board myself. I was even thinking you might be the one that just.
That's why I'm always against the assignment, because students, you do justice for yourself. Because if you go for masters, I know what is there. You understand? So one person solve it, all other copies it. I have seen it whereby some people will solve it with a pen. Somebody will go to photocopy and photocopy it and bring it to me. I've seen all those things. So we might mark you, we might help. We don't want anyone to fail, but we don't want quality also to go down. Because we know, it's not about, passing. Sometimes some of the lecturers that are tough, they are good for you because you go for masters, these are the lecturers you will even call and thank them. So in as much as we want you to fail, we cannot compromise with the quality as well. But I cannot control these kind of things. Like I give you an assignment, they do group work. That one is beyond my control. My advice is try to do it by yourself because it will help you, as well. So the assignment is given to you. The assignment is both assignment and quiz. So Tuesday you submit to is it Ahmad or something at the campus? But before you go call him, sometimes he's not around. Call him, then you can submit it. After Tuesday, I'm not taking any assignments. So then the calculus, we'll see what best I can do. Then no matter what happens, I will get back to the group. So you can let's be looking at the group, what will be shared there. I will see how best I can fit that lectures in the 2 hours. All right. So
Mr. Ture.
Yes.
Due to what you said, like you said, calculus, you will see how best you will take in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it will be possible you included calculus in our exam.
No. If be rest assured that it will be a fair exam. I might lecture calculus, it might not be included if I feel like that is too much. You understand? Yeah. But you go with the knowledge. In fact, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Understand? So be rest assured that the exam will be something that I feel like that I have lectured well and is well covered.
Okay.
Yes. But all this will be communicated to you, at the Facebook, at the WhatsApp page. Something like that. Okay. So it could be lectured and then it doesn't show up. But that's not my goal about exam. It's about the knowledge you will go with it. And normally what I do, I like reviews. You don't need to identify yourself. I like to improve my class every trimester. So I don't know how I will do this. But we will talk about it in the last class or in the exam. Or during the last exam, if you feel like that there is an area that I can improve the lectures for your brothers that are coming next, you can write something. You don't have to write your name. Just write a paper and submit it to me. That's it. I would appreciate it. It's not a must,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, then have a nice weekend and a nice studies because it's exam period. And take care, everyone. Yes.
Like the last class before last week.
Yeah.
I think you were talking about this equilibrium issue, isn't it?
Equilibrium. Okay. Yeah, we talk about a lot about equilibriums.
Yes. I just want to clear my doubt.
It's okay.
In case you have a quadratic equation, 2 quadratic equations.
Okay.
And you ended up having negative a negative and a positive number as equilibrium.
Okay.
So is it possible to say that the equilibrium is positive, not negative? Because from my own perspective, I think quantity cannot be negative.
Exactly.
So I don't know.
No, that's perfect because we know that quantity. So you will disregard that because when you're dealing with quantity, we focus on the first quadrant. Remember, when you look at mathematics, the coordinate system, you understand? So this is the positive quadrant. So when you are dealing with something that must be, that's why sometimes we restrict domains, you understand? So forget about the negative that you have. Just make a comment that quantity cannot be negative. So you focus on the positive quadrant, which is this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear
because
my doubt.
quantity cannot be negative. It's just like when you solve, they say the maximum time, and time cannot be negative. So you disregard the negative part there for the quadratics. You see that comes a lot when you come to solving quadratic problems.
Okay.
So you disregard the negative if it's quantity.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have more questions, we have more time, please bring it.
Mr. Ture,
Yes.
will our final marks be communicated to us?
You mean which final mark? The final or the midterm?
The final.
Yeah. I don't know how it goes about, but the school I attended, normally the lecturer doesn't communicate the marks to the students. You learn your marks from the admin. But I don't know the rules here. I might ask Ben if it's legal, because I don't want to get myself in, I just want to make sure what is the administrative rules. If I can communicate to you, why not? I can even share it on not WhatsApp, because some people, they have marks, they don't want people to share. You can call me or text me and I can tell you, provided that that's how it's done.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. If we don't have any other questions, so I owe you only this lectures video. Every other videos are up there, and I think all the materials have been shared, the hands out. So now the ball is in your court, and let's see before Thursday or Wednesday, and I will communicate it through my class rep or myself. I will write it to the group. So have a happy weekend, and thanks everyone. See you soon.